Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman ZX. In the last part we did a lot of side quests culminating in us getting not only the last sub-tank but a lot of body chips, and now it's time for us to go stop the dig. Slither Incorporated is at the ruins. They're digging down to the Model W core. Head to Area M and stop the dig. Alright, this is actually our third to last story mission, and where Area M is, you could have actually found the door to this place before. It's back in the exact same cave that we accessed Area J through back in Area A1. So this might take you some time to find if you didn't go exploring around, but I actually happened to find this place on my first playthrough, completely by accident while looking for Area J. It's right in here. And I love this song. Again, I love this soundtrack. Model W must be nearby. We'll open the door when you're ready. I'm ready. Open it. Everyone, input your passwords. I am the wind that blows through the sky. Ventus Eris. I'm the water that flows across the land. Glacius Passio. I am the fire that brings heat to all life. Flamma Vis. I am the shadow that never leaves the side of justice. Umbra Profess. I am the light that illuminates all possibilities. Lumine Infinitus. I am the courage that fights for beliefs. Fortitude Creed. Final key assembled. Let's go. The rest is up to you. And with that, we can finally charge ahead towards Model W. Also, what the hell is this background? What are those trees? Either way, time for our next mini-boss, Orhawk, who is more or less the exact same as Stefinx and Diadrake back in Area I. Almost down to the exact pattern. His one unique attack is that he can fly in the sky, like I think he's about to in a moment, and fire feathers down from the sky. Which can be kind of hard to dodge until you realize that you can destroy the actual feathers. Which, guess what? I forgot I could destroy the feathers. Oh well. In terms of HP, this thing isn't too bad. Go all out with charge shots when you can, just do the most damage. No real model is the best for this one, so I just prefer to use ZX because the overall damage output I can do with the charge attacks. I got really close to getting hit there, though. And now we're more or less good on actual notable enemies until the actual boss fight. A lot of the enemies in this stage are recycled enemies. We got the whales back from Area D and the galleons. The only new thing we have are these crystals that I rarely ever give a chance to do anything because either I run away before they can do anything, or I destroy them before they really get a chance to. There's also these bats, but I want to say they also showed up in another stage. But I don't remember that for a fact at the moment. And now this place is going to change graphical style extremely. I love the way this looks. It actually reminds me quite a bit of Ragnarok, and there is reason for that. That I'll go over later, because I forget if I brought up or not the actual identity of Model W. No, actually I didn't, because I was going to talk about it during the side quests. Oh well, I'll go over that during the final area then. Also, I suck in this next room. I always have. Also, what is causing those wires to move? We have a water room here surrounded by spikes, so obviously they want you to use Area L. Also, in the previous room, I went through a little crawl space that I unlocked with Model F. You're supposed to go through the rest of the room with Area H. With Model H, rather. Really, you could just spam your way through this area, and hopefully you won't accidentally impale your face on spikes. Really? This area is more of an environmental hazard kind of area rather than an actual, like, enemy area. Which, mind you, I am of the mindset that most of the challenge in an area should come from the actual level design, not so much the enemies within it, but the enemies should accentuate that. And that's actually something I think Shovel Knight did a really good job with, because the levels themselves were at times fairly hard, but the enemies accentuated the challenge by being unique challenges per stage more often than not, aside from a few that were copy and paste. Either way, we're coming up from the boss fight, and honestly, I'm only bringing out Model F because I feel like it. Well, well, it looks like you found me. I never imagined that you could survive this long, child. Serpent! It's a shame you're too late. Witness the power to control the world, the true form of Model W. Do you feel it? Its glorious presence is starting to rise. Even the precious biometal in your possession is insignificant compared to the might of Model W. Finally, the power is mine, all of it. Pandora! The young lady has honored us with her presence. Make sure to take good care of her.
I will.
Project Haven is now in its final stage. Gaze upon the beginning of a brand new age.
Model ZX. Megaman. You will not interfere.
And just like how we fought Prometheus at the midway stage, time for us to finally fight Pandora, who is quite a bit different from her brother. While Prometheus is more or less only fire elemental, Pandora is bi-elemental. She's either ice when she's blue or lightning when she's yellow. However, I do not believe she's weak to either of the elements that those are weak to. So thus, the best model for these fights is really just Model ZX due to the higher damage output you can probably have with the charge shots. When she's colored white, she can use either element at the same time. First off, I love her battle theme. Prometheus and Pandora had the best battle themes in the game easily. More or less, you can avoid her attacks fairly easily, except for this one, because that's probably the most random one, as well as the other one where she causes her little head things to go lightning elemental and just go all around the screen. Dodging the snowman can be kind of annoying because its jumping radius is kind of weird, but the lightning attack right there, even though I did a horrible job of dodging it there, is fairly easy too. Admittedly, I don't do too well in the next couple of boss fights, at least story-wise, due to a lack of practice with them, because all of the final stages, that except for one that's up and coming, I did not practice at all, unlike the 8 pseudoroid stages. So that's on me, but oh well. As long as you have some sub-tanks, though, you're pretty good when it comes to this fight, because you can have more than enough energy by this point. Also, is it just me, or back in the cutscene where we saw Model W's close-up, did it have teeth? Please tell me I'm not the only one that saw that. Oh, now I'm just extending the fight by another 3 seconds. Oh, thank you for being there. Ah, shit. No! Model W!
The wheel of fate in motion. No one can stop our destiny of destruction. Not you, not Serpent. No one.
Huh? Destiny of destruction? Just what are they up to? Ale! The Slytherin Incorporated fleet is on the move! I couldn't stop them from digging up Model W. Can you catch them? We'll do what we can. Hold on. What's this? There's a massive outbreak of Mavericks detected in the western region of Area D. The readings are off the chart and interfering with our ability to track Model W. Serpent. How appropriate that you would slither away from me like a snake in the grass. I've added the mission data for the Mavericks. Get prepared and start the mission ASAP. I'll do what I can to get a fix on Model W's signature. Please, do what you can. And that's the end of plot for this part, because while we can wrap up the mission in this next Trans-Server room, there's something interesting about this particular Trans-Server room. Notice there in the bottom right, Area N1. We are never directed to go to Area N at all. It is Metroid ZX's. Megaman ZX's lone optional area, at least in terms of, like, full areas, not counting, like, little pathways that you get, like, data disks and such. And while it's graphically the exact same as the latter 2/3 of Area M, this place has something interesting in it. Also, I love this background. You know, this looks kind of... Oh, no. Reappearing, disappearing blocks. I've not missed you. Thankfully, Model HX can neuter that entire section. I want to say the blocks are almost the exact same layout as Heatman, but I have not done Heatman legitimately in almost a decade at this point, I think. So I have no way of remembering. However, you're about to see me do something really dumb. I, for some reason, think you can do this across the entire section, and admittedly, you do get really close, but not quite. Either way, let's enter this door, and I recommend being Model ZX for what's about to come up. And charge up your buster.
Why
Why are you here? Okay. Super boss from Megaman ZX is Omega Zero, and he is the hardest boss in the game because not only does he have ridiculous damage potential and is the only boss aside from the final one to have 3 health bars, he can combo you to damn near death. His main saber slash combo can drain probably over half of my health when he gets every hit in. He can heal himself with that little Rakuha attack, and he goes all over the place jumpy. Best strategy for this? Stay ranged with the ZX Buster. Charge shots will do the most damage, and staying away from him means that you won't get comboed with his Z Saber. I actually really like this fight, though, and the remix of Cannonball for this fight, I think it's called Cannonball Hard Revenge, is just a treat to my ears. I smiled like a little maniac when I first saw this fight, but I also was kind of scared because Omega gave me a lot of shit back when I first played 03. And there's the combo potential, even though it wasn't the full damage I could have gotten out of that. Don't feel guilty about having to use energy tanks and sub-tanks rather in this stage because you're likely to take a lot of damage. There's probably a no damage run at this fight somewhere on YouTube, but I do not have that kind of time on my hands. But still, nice little reference fight. And it actually does have a purpose, but you're not going to see what that purpose is until next part, due to the way I do stuff before the finale. Either way, let's head backwards a bit, namely back towards the save point, because if you noticed, back here in the main part of Area N, you could go farther down the shaft. Let's see what's going on at the bottom of it. But first I actually want to destroy these guys because there is some energy over here. Also, don't do what I'm doing here. Do not use the sabers for these guys. Charge buster shots, all you need. Really, despite looking like Zero, in terms of boss strategy, the ZX Buster is the better way to go about things. The saber is good for enemies, yes, but boss fights, Buster's my way to go. Now these doors are interesting. They'll only open if you have specific games in the Game Boy Advance slot. Which ones? Well, that Z3 above my head might have something to do with it. Children in Arabita? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the capsules in that previous room are all bosses from 03. The moment when I was recording this, I had 03 in my emulator's GBA slot. And that allows you to fight 4 of the bosses from 03 and in another door down the hallway, 4 of the bosses from 04. In terms of who there is, you got Children in Arabita, Devil Bat Shilt, Blazin' Flizzard, and, what was the last one's name? Death Hand's Mantisk, the first 4 bosses from 03. And in 04's case, you got Pegasolta Eclair, Soul Titanion, Noble Mandragora, and Fenry Luna Edge. And because of this, we actually have an early boss rush. After Children in Arabita, I am fast-forwarding all the other 7 fights. So, let's hit the music a bit early. That's nice nostalgia for me. Admittedly, you get nothing for doing these fights, but I'm going to be showing them off anyway. Either way, with that, I'm going to need to end this off here because with the second boss rush, things were a bit short on the next part's end, so I decided to just put them into the next part. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 12, we'll not only be wrapping up our business here in Area N, we'll be heading towards that Maverick attack because, the plot's kind of accelerating from here on, folks. See you guys then.